Jurassic World Dominion was one of the best-selling films of 2022. However, it also had a very large toy campaign. At least in my experience, just before the movie came out all the way until now, there have been dozens of Jurassic World toys. Toys that range from featuring characters and dinosaurs from the films, to toys that depict completely new dinosaurs. And recently, I was lucky enough to get one of these very toys. So in today's video, I'll be unboxing the Claire and Dilophosaurus combo pack from the Jurassic World Dominion toy line.
Stars and Stripes!
Hello and welcome to another Carrot Scraps video, and by another, I mean the 137th. So before we get into the unboxing, I just wanted to give a couple of disclaimers up front. I'm a huge Jurassic fan, but I am not a big toy collector. I do have a lot of toys in my collection, but typically I keep them in the box, and so I don't have an extensive knowledge about what is a good toy or high quality toy. I simply collect the toys that I like. For example, I like to get Claire Deering action figures or memorabilia, or I like to get Scarlet Spider action figures or memorabilia. If I see those characters, I pick it up, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. I know that there are a lot of Jurassic fans who are deep into the toy world, whether it's the history of these toys or whether it's just knowing the standards of quality for the modern production. But I just wanted to make it clear that I'm trying something new today, and if I get any details wrong or if I don't talk about something specific that you're interested in, just bear with me, since this is something new that I'm trying, unboxing a toy on the channel. It's something that I'm definitely interested in trying more in the future, and so if you do have something that you'd like to see from my unboxings in the future, if you have any criticisms, if you have any suggestions, I'd really appreciate it, because I'd love to unbox more Jurassic toys on the channel, and I'd like to cover what people are interested in. But for now, I'm just excited to open the toy that I got. So without further ado, let's open the Claire and Dilophosaurus combo pack. The packaging was fairly easy to open. It didn't open how I expected, but once I figured it out, it made sense. You just need to cut the tape on either side of the top. You don't need to cut the front tape panels like I did. I only did that because I was confused. And then there's a plastic that you can kind of tear to release Claire from the plastic securing her. And then the Dilophosaur has these kind of I guess plastic, again, strings holding it that you can just cut really easily. So it was a fairly easy opening process. I thought it would take a little bit longer. I don't know why, but it went by pretty quick. So let's talk about the figures that I got. So starting off with Claire, I actually think she's a great action figure. I think as a kid, I probably would be pretty pleased with this action figure. The only issue I have with her is that her head doesn't move a lot. But I love the articulation in the joints. I think for the size of the figure, the articulation is honestly pretty good. I liked these kind of figures a lot as a kid, that had the joints in the knees moving, and then also in like the thighs and the arms and shoulders and the elbows. Having those, I think 8 points of articulation are really great, and that was what I really wanted from all of my action figures that were this size specifically. I will say that she's a little more stiff than I would like. I think there's a chance that if you play with her more, she'd, have looser joints. But I think even if that happens, she's still not going to be kind of her joints aren't going to move the way that I think I would prefer. But still, I think, the amount of joints that she have are great for the size of the figure. And I think she's pretty cool. I actually thought that her left arm stayed straight, and I didn't bend it until later I realized, oh, this bends as well. So I thought that was really cool. I will say, though, that the gun that she gets is not the best. I understand why it's kind of, cheap. But I just think it's odd that they made it in a way that it's difficult for her to grab. I don't mind that it's kind of just this simple little plastic cutout. It's just really difficult to put in her hands. And also it looks like a gun that she would hold with 2 hands. So I just think it's odd that it's so difficult to get into both hands. So I guess that's like my main thoughts on that. Is the figure is great and the gun is pretty good too, but I just wish they went for a different design so that way it was easier for her to hold. And also, I don't think she had this gun in the movie. I keep track of which guns Claire uses, and there are two great gun scenes in Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, and I don't think she uses a gun like this in Dominion, but still really cool, you know what I mean? Part of the fun of the Jurassic toy line is, seeing new things and inventing your own canon, so definitely love this action figure. I think she's really cool, and I'm excited to put her on my desk. Quick editor's note, I realized while I was rewatching Dominion recently what this gun that comes with the Claire action figure might be. And I'm pretty sure it's the tranquilizer gun that Owen is using when he's trying to catch Beta. So I'm not sure why Claire has that, but I'm always excited when Claire has a gun, so I'm not complaining. And you know what? To me, I mean, I don't know what the discussions are with Jurassic fans and likeness of the characters. I feel fine. I genuinely don't know how people feel about these figures and whether they look like the actors or not. I don't think she looks a ton like Bryce Dallas Howard, but that doesn't really matter that much to me. She gets across the idea. She's a redhead who wears a similar outfit to the movie. This is Claire, and that's good enough for me. If that's not good enough for you, I totally understand why. Again, she doesn't look tremendously like Bryce Dallas Howard, but for me, that's not a deal breaker because the likeness is close enough, and so that works. Moving on to the Dilophosaurus, I guess I'm a little more disappointed with this figure. I don't like that it's at this fixed angle where it can't really move either of its legs. One is forward and one is back, and if you move it, you have the option to move it on one single joint in the thigh, but if you do that, it's just not going to stand. And then even in its kind of preferred stance that it was made to stand in, it doesn't do the best job of standing. You really got to do some work with the tail. The arms are probably the best articulating features. I feel like that's acceptable for a dinosaur action figure like this, is to have the arms move just up and down like that very simply. They're not amazing, but I think they work the best. And the kind of side mouth flaps are really cool. I think they're beautifully painted. I think they look awesome. They're very simple though, and honestly putting them back doesn't look the best. But I don't think it's awful. The mouth doesn't close, and again, I understand why, but it's a little disappointing. I do think that the spit coming out of the mouth is a really cool touch. Again, very simple piece of plastic, but for me it works. It's a fun little action, and I hope Claire doesn't get hit by this. So overall, definitely more disappointed by this figure. Especially when compared to Claire. I think Claire is definitely a better action figure, and my benchmark is really, based on likeness and also the joints. This figure definitely looks good. It's a pretty looking figure, but it's very stiff. It really doesn't move that much, and the options that you do get to move it only make it less fun to play with, at least in my opinion. So I like it a lot. I do. I like this figure. I'm happy that I have it, but it's definitely not the best dinosaur figure that I've seen. And it's definitely not the best action figure of the two that I got here. So apparently a lot of these dinosaurs that are released with the Jurassic World Dominion toy line, and potentially other Jurassic World and Jurassic Park related toys, will occasionally come with these scannable parts that can come out of their back or sections of the toy, and you scan it with an app that you download from the App Store, and you get this kind of AR, 3D model of a dinosaur on your phone. You can learn a little bit about the dinosaur, and you can just add to your virtual collection. And I downloaded the app. It's called the Jurassic World Facts app, which I would agree with that. I feel like it's trying its best to educate me. I was surprised at just how many dinosaurs and I guess figures there are to be collected here. I haven't done a ton of research into the app. This is just my experience with the Dilophosaur, and I suppose also the Iguanodon. You get the Iguanodon for free for downloading the app. No offense to anybody whose favorite dinosaur is the Iguanodon, but I think that's very funny that to get this app, to incentivize you to get the app if you don't have a toy, they give you Iguanodon, which I don't think many people are clamoring for. But anyway, we have the Dilophosaur, and it looks really cool. I gotta say, I don't know. I wasn't excited to download this app. I'm not somebody who likes doing this kind of stuff, but the model looks pretty good, and it actually adds, you know, I'm surprised I'm admitting this. It adds a little bit of value to my toy. I really didn't think that I would feel this way, especially, you know, I'm not like an iPad kid. I grew up with, you know, the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advanced and, you know, the Nintendo DS, DVD players. I had electronics, but I wasn't an iPad kid, and I feel like that's the main audience for this. But I got to admit, it's really cool. It definitely... I'm excited to get more of these. I'm excited to get more toys and to see more of these 3D models. I like the little information, and I think the AR stuff it's not the first time I've seen Jurassic World do like an AR thing on your phone. That might be another video that I do in the future. But I don't know, I liked the features that they had here, and I do think that it's a fun, quirky little feature. I will say that the panel that you take out of the dinosaur's back is incredibly difficult to get out. I hurt my fingers trying to get it out, and when I tried using a toothpick just to see how much force it would take, it snapped the toothpick. I had to use a serrated knife to get underneath that little panel and then push it up, and I didn't like that because I felt like I was damaging the toy, although I didn't. But I don't know, I just feel like that's way too secure for this very I don't know, simple little panel. It's not like it's a fragile panel, right? But putting that aside, overall, I was very surprised at how much I liked this part of the toy. I almost didn't include a review of this part of the toy for the video, but I felt like I needed to be thorough, and I'm glad that I was, because, you know, I didn't expect to like this, and I did. It's simple, but I can see the value for kids especially, and also just as a dino nerd, and just as somebody who remembers how exciting it was to learn about new dinosaurs as a kid. It is really cool to get a toy, and then to get, you know, kind of you know, a fact sheet along with like a pretend little video game. It's not a video game, but you know, you get to see, you know, you get this 3D little model. I think it's very cool, and I'm happy that I checked it out, and I'm happy that I was surprised by how much I liked it. There actually are more games on this app, which I found kind of interesting, but they don't have a lot to do with the toy that I got today. So we'll save that app and a further discussion on it for a future video. But in general, again, I think it's really cool, especially for kids. And so that is the Claire and Dilophosaurus Jurassic World Dominion action figure set. I quite like it. I'm really happy that I have it, mostly because I'm a Claire Deering fan. But I will say, even though I'm disappointed by the articulation of the Dilophosaurus, I like the way it looks. I think it's a good looking dinosaur, even though it falls over a little bit. I think the best part of this figure is definitely the mouth flaps that come out on the sides. I think it really does look beautiful. And especially from afar, it's an attractive looking dinosaur for sure. Claire, I think, really impresses me with the articulation, but also it's just cool. I don't know, I guess it's just cool to have a Claire action figure. So having them both is really cool to me. I think that the price is all right for these two. And this is definitely encouraging for me to get more of these, and I'm excited to see what else the series has to offer. I've seen a couple of others with different characters and different dinosaurs, and I'm excited to explore that more in the future based on how much I liked these two right now. If I was going to give a rating to this combo pack, if I was going to give it a grade, I would give it a grade out of 20. As we all know, this is very common. I don't even need to talk about that. That's everybody knows we rate things out of 20. Everybody does it. If I was going to give this a grade out of 20, I'd probably give it a 15 out of 20. That's just right off the top of my head. I think it's a really cool pack. I think it's really interesting and fun, and they're good looking action figures, but they're definitely not the best action figures out there, right? There are better Jurassic World Dominion action figures than this. But I really like these two, and I'm excited to have them. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you so much for watching. If for some reason you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and to subscribe to my channel for more. As regular viewers know, I make a variety of content on my channel, and I'm always going to make the videos that I want to make. But if you see something you enjoy, make sure to let me know, and I'll try to prioritize that kind of content in the future. Over on Twitch, I typically play superhero games like Marvel's Avengers, Marvel Snap, and the occasional horror game like Resident Evil. So if that sounds interesting to you at all, make sure to check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/carrotscraps. And all my other social media, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram are at carrotscraps as well. So I want to thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. I don't know. I don't know why I filmed this Claire beating up a Dilophosaurus. Maybe that's how I wanted the scene to end in the movie. Is just they scream at each other's faces, and then she just stands up and starts beating him up. Just starts punching a Dilophosaurus. Oh, Dilophosaurus, you fool! You didn't realize that the true predator, the true alpha, the true apex predator was Claire Deering the whole time.